Hey gamers, it's Grind This Game here, back with oxygen not included. So I let the game run overnight last night, and I went through. Let me see here. I started off at 19, almost 2,000 cycles. So it ran overnight for about 200 and let's say 200 cycles, and no one died. No dupes died, but I had some issues. It's kind of like debugging code if you're a software engineer in a complex piece of software. You think everything's great, and then you let it run for a long time, and things kind of break at the edge until you fix those bugs, and then you fix the bugs, then you let it run again, and then you find some more bugs. So I found some bugs. What went wrong? This thing here, my polluted water tank, it actually overflowed and filled up this little area here. And this overflowed and it fell down to here, and it was starting to leak into this area. But it wasn't like spilling into the base or anything. It didn't hit this visco gel. I don't think I had this little lip here before, so it was like it was getting close. And the other thing that happened was I had two pumps here for fresh water, and they used all the fresh water, and this used to be filled with gulpfish. They have since all died because I sucked all the water out of there. Not very good. So what did I do to fix this issue? I built a bunch of buffer tanks here. So the polluted water kind of fills these up, and I could have extended this tank over to this area here, but I figured I'll just use the built-in liquid reservoir and try to go with that. Because these geysers, like this one's going to be active in 20 cycles, and it just spews polluted water. 7 kilograms per second. And then this one here is active, almost 5 kilograms per second. So a ton of water. More water than I'd ever need, but it's funny, the tank is actually kind of empty now. So I changed the pump. It used to be here. I moved over a little bit. So there's a little bit more of a buffer here. And then there's a buffer. Oh, don't crash game. There's another little buffer here. This little buffer up here, and then continue on, and then dump into the tank. Now the problem that I had was this little vent here used to be underneath the abyssalite, and the water level would be up to here, and the vent would be here. But for some reason the water just kept coming in, even though I think there might have been like a little air pocket here. And the water just kept coming in, and that's why it overflowed down into here and then was spilling over. So with this giant buffer here, that shouldn't happen anymore. And it was overflowing, but I changed the settings down here at the bottom near my gold cooling. This gold volcano, I changed the settings slightly down to 5 degrees. But I've since put it back up because I don't want it to exhaust all the polluted water. This area here is nice and cool. My power plant is like frigid. That's partially due to this little setup I have here. It was super coolant going through at a really cold temperature. But it's also due to the cold polluted water that's coming down through a radiator. I added this new radiator. This is brand new because this was getting kind of warm in here. And I wasn't getting the full kind of potential out of the cold blue water before I sieved it, so it goes through there, cools down the gold volcano. Now I don't need gold anymore. I could probably just cap this off and call it a day, but the other thing that happened was this water level got a little bit low. It was probably at this level right here by this ladder, which wasn't a problem. Nothing really broke. But because I changed the settings for this cooling, more polluted water makes its way through, which gets sieved right here and dumps into our main clean water tank. What else broke? This area down here got extremely hot. This hydrogen vent, it comes out at 500 degrees, so I added some wheeze-warts here just to keep this area a little bit cooler. This got really hot. This whole area just around this was probably around 150 degrees. So I added one more layer of insulation with ceramic this time, because this in here is super hot. And I tapped into some magma a long time ago in order to get phosphorus, which is, there's some liquid phosphorus here. I was doing some shine bugs experiments and stuff. I've also been working on monoliths, which are these big giant blocks. This one's done. I extended it over to the left a little bit. There's some funny little bits I couldn't delete, so I'm not using any cheats or debug or sandbox or anything this time, so if you can imagine, I built this one layer at a time. Yes, I have no life. Okay, so I extended that one. I'm going to be extending this one here. I just want to use up all the materials. So it's kind of like just doing more of this. This one's igneous rock. It's usually easier to build when I'm paused. Let's dig this one out first. So this one will extend up to around this level, so I'll block all this in. Added a few more tubes and tube networks so the dupes can get around faster. I was building this one down, but I figured it's easier to go up than down, so this one's kind of done for the moment. I need to clear all this hydrogen out. That's kind of an issue. I don't know where it's coming from because the dupes aren't allowed in this room. So I don't know. Maybe it was just hydrogen that was kind of just hanging around. Oh, and my rockets. My rockets. I've almost been to every single planet now. What is left? There's... That's done. That's done. Most of them are done now. When I say done, I mean all these green check marks are done. It takes 2 full missions to get all these done. These 3 are not done. So with the right rocket, I'm going to head out that way. Now watch what happens here. Oh, actually it's harder to see with this rocket. But things get really hot, like 1400 degrees there. When I launched this petroleum rocket, what was happening was this area would get up to about 500 degrees. You can see the insulated tile here, still 500. But the rocket exhaust actually goes straight through this and heats up the oxygen. And actually we can just launch it and see. I need to put my gantries out first. Let's speed the game up. The other issue I had that I noticed just recently was, see this power cable here? It was melting. The rocket would launch, this oxygen would get to 500 degrees, and this wire would melt. And this wire feeds a whole oxygen generation, so I'd get the warning like, not enough oxygen, and things would start to roll downhill. So the other issue was that there was a pile of like 1,000 tons of regolith in this little corner here. I don't know where it all came from. I think it just comes through here and bounces around, and so I put 2 tiles of insulation here so that the heat can't get through. And I built a ton of containers for regolith all over the place. As you can see, actually it's cooled down quite a bit since I put it in here, but it went in at around 300 degrees, and this nullifier is just kind of cooling everything down. I did bring up all the sleet weed out of here, so all the natural sleet weed is gone. I did that kind of intentionally. I've been building sandstone monoliths over here, but we're almost out of sandstone. Oh, I think that actually might be it. We're down to, 1,000 kilograms. What happens if I delete this? Oh yeah, we have a little bit left. And then we're going to switch to igneous rock because I got 800 tons of that left. And then we'll work through sedimentary rock to continue to build this ridiculous thing I have here. Just working our way up. Digging and building and digging and building. I put a few drywall tiles in here because I wanted to cool this area down. Oh, the other project I've been working on, up over here. Actually, is my oxygen still circling? No. I got a request to put some dupes in here, like build a little base in here. But it was like 250 degrees in here. Once I put some air in here, there's hydrogen at the top, oxygen at the bottom. Put some Weezeworts in, and it's been cooling over the last, I don't know, 500 cycles or so. And finally, this Regolith here is actually at 70 degrees now. Not over here. It's still 200 degrees over here, but right here, it's kind of nice and cool. Not cool enough for dupes yet, but it's getting there. Yeah, so I have a lot of food too. I'm at 4 million food. And I'm not even using fertilizer, that's the funny thing. I could be using fertilizer. Oh, what's happening here? Body temperature. That's a first. Oh, that's because the water's not flowing. Right. This 25 degree water was keeping everything nice and cool. I'm going to turn these lights off. We have so much food. It's kind of silly. Yeah, I'm going to turn off kind of half the bristle blossoms for now. We don't need them. In fact, we have another farm over here. Yeah, these are getting too hot as well. Let's turn these lights off. The reason the food kind of went overboard is because of the, well, fried mushrooms was part of it, but I just have too much food. I'm not even making the nice food. It's gristleberry. My little puff farm's been going pretty well. Oh, that one just died. I had a mixture of gases in here. I had polluted oxygen, pure oxygen, and chlorine, in case the occasional chlorine puff came in here. But I see the fresh oxygen is pretty much gone. This is pretty high pressure in here. So I set up a auto sweeper. It's grabbing the slime and it's sending it down right into the algae distillers. So we have a constant supply of algae. And I'm going to do a tutorial guide on puffs, I think. They're kind of annoying because the way they breed is a little bit weird. If you look at the chances... Oh, these ones are going to die because there's no fresh oxygen in here. I was incubating them, but the population just exploded, as you can see. They're not cramped yet. Oh, look at this one. Only one eye is open. I'm sending in polluted oxygen from the polluted oxygen vent, but it starts at 500 degrees, and it kind of cools on its way over, even though it's in insulated pipe. Let's go to the source here, which is way down here somewhere. Actually, while I'm down here, let's continue our project. Dig that out. Building in the corners is a little bit of a pain because you got to zoom in. Okay. The source is right here. This thing comes out at 500 degrees. Right now it's 170 degrees. I got this pump is thermium so it doesn't overheat. And it comes out, it's at 300 degrees and it slowly cools down, even though it's insulated pipe, because it's sitting in this pipe. You can see it's cooling down to 190, 180, 170. This area is really cold, so it cools down quite a bit along here. But what's nice is that the puffs eat the super hot oxygen right away, so that this area is actually not that hot. It's 32 degrees with just one Weezewort. They're pooping away. So yeah, they gobble up that super hot oxygen and metabolize it somehow, magically, deleting heat. look at this one. This monolith. I gotta use up this polluted water somehow. I'll probably just sieve it and dump it in here or something. This geyser, when it's on, look at this. Steam, 7 or 9.7 kilograms. This thing gushes water. Or steam. So it gets pretty cold here. I should actually put some utility plates here. Out of diamond. You know what? I might bring them down this way just to spread the heat out. I have lots of diamonds, so let's use it up. Let's do something useful with it. So this will cool down when it's dormant, and then once it kicks on, the steam should condense and fall into this little area here. And I can get rid of this tile now. Oh, what priority did I do that? 5. Oh, they're just so idle. They're... Hey, there's me. Regular watchers of the channel know that I used to call myself Wintermute. But now I'm grinding this game. Okay. Oh, we got water. Where did this water come from? Oh, the ice biome is completely melting. Okay, I need a little bit of a lip here. Here and here. We'll make that priority 8 just to get it done. And I guess I should mop this up. I don't like having water anywhere. Kind of bugs me. So I'll mop that up. And I'll continue to build up. I should probably get these so they're level. Whoa, wrong button. Yeah, it's hard to build the corners because the UI gets in the way. You gotta zoom way in. Oh, jeez. Okay, there we go. So I think I have about 6 rocket launches left before we're all done. I might launch this one more time, and then I think what I'll do is I'll block it in. They did get the oxalite there, good. And we have some cargo here. Sleet wheat grain and wort seed. Let's empty that. And I've just been going back and forth to the ice planet with the left rocket. So let's just launch that. And I'll show you what happens here. See this oxygen here? Oh, there's some hydrogen there. So it's going right through this insulated, and it's heating this up, superheating it, 1800 degrees. So that heat just gets straight through. 1700 degree oxygen. And so far this has been enough to cool it, but that was probably the last launch of that rocket, so that'll be it. I don't have as much issue with this rocket because everything underneath is vacuum. So it can't really get that hot. This new tile that I built, that's going to get hot, but what can you do? I had a weird issue with my liquid hydrogen. Let's speed things back up. Where it was getting warm in the kind of the service pipe, and it all turned into gas in here. Kind of instantly. So I had like 500 kilograms of hydrogen per tile in gas form. But then after a few cycles it cooled back down, so it was all good. Oh, I want to mention something about these little guys here. Notice how many calories they have in them? 27,000? Some of them are more. You can force feed them. So even though they need, let's see here, they need change per cycle. They're eating 960 per cycle, but I've managed to stuff them with 30,000 calories, which is kind of funny. So let's empty this, and I'm gonna empty actually most of them, and watch them eat. Yeah, they'll eat no matter what. Now this guy has 47,000 calories in him. Force feeding them. They don't seem to have any limit. You can just keep force feeding them and they'll keep eating. And then when they die, all this regolith dies with them. So it's a good way of destroying regolith. That's why I built this little cage here. Because I have too much regolith. I have 2,000 tons of it. Uh-oh. Wow. My robo miner just expired. I will rebuild it out of thermium this time. There's nowhere for the heat to go, so the more it gets used, it'll eventually get destroyed. Okay, let's put another one in with thermium this time. That should be good. This auto sweep will... Oh, it came back down in temperature actually, 61. I don't know how it loses its heat when it's in a vacuum like this. But let's get this built. Priority 9. Oh, they're already on it. What's the most calories we could stuff into these guys? They live quite long, so it's not like the stuff gets destroyed right away. They seem to have stopped eating. There's more on the ground here. But they've stopped eating. Maybe 50,000 is the limit. That's how big their stomachs are. They're like wolves, they just eat everything until it's gone. Okay, I'm gonna put some more storage in here. And I'll continue building this thing here. Just even things out. This is all priority 5 stuff, so they're pretty bored. They don't have much to do. They just sit around and eat, sit on the massage table. Stress has actually been going up for a few dupes. Scuba especially. I don't know what's wrong with Scuba. He seems to be pretty depressed most of the time. I'm gonna dig all this out though. This is our last wild Dreco, I think. Sitting in a little cave full of meat. Maybe I'll try to preserve him as long as I can. Oh, this thing's active. Let's see how it's going. That's a lot of heat. I probably need more resorts in here. And they really should be in a room of hydrogen, but I got lazy and didn't do it. Be pretty simple though. We got 15 kilograms per tile here. As mentioned previously, there's some automation here. I don't want this room to be overpressurized. So I have a little sensor here. If it goes over 15,000 grams per tile, then I send it down here, which it just did. And I just burn it off. I don't even have automation, I just burn it right here. No matter what. There's no automation on this, no smart battery hooked up. So that just contributes to the main grid, which seems to be running smoothly, and it's nice and chilly. I've been making plastic kind of non-stop. I don't really need it anymore, but eventually I might put some more tubing in. As you can tell, the autosave now is crippling. Like I said though, it ran overnight for about 10 hours. without issue. But funny enough, it actually crashed like while I was looking at it, like 15 minutes after I loaded it up. But it got saved because it's all auto-saving. Let's get this corner done. Wow, it sounds like the neutronium has a sound. Oh, he's probably gonna get stuck there. Oh yeah, totally stuck. You idiot. Do it again. You're good at getting stuck. It's a dance. Oh. There you go. Problem solved. Come on. And I'm just building out of random materials. I'm not using anything in particular. I'm trying to use up igneous rock. The sandstone's pretty much gone. Obsidian I'll probably use. Igneous rock is definitely the most plentiful. You're probably wondering, like, why am I doing this? No real good reason. Just I want to constrain the places they can go and where oxygen can leak into. I want to see if it fixes, or not fixes, but improves lag. Probably won't. I figured I'd try though. Still have a lot of areas to do though. I think we're, let's see. I don't know what percentage we're done. Maybe, not counting the top or the lava. Let's say this is a third, this is a third, and this is a third. I would say between this and this and this and this, or like maybe a quarter done. How far can I zoom out here? Wow. And I have to leave some space for them to move around. It's not like we're just gonna fill the whole map. Or will we? Come on, autosave. It is saving to an SSD. I think it's the compression part of the autosave that's absolutely killing my computer. My CPU is like, was one of the best CPUs like 7 years ago, and now it's very, very slow compared to what else is out there. Wow, this thing's actually warm. Okay, where's our rocket? Oh, they're both at about 25%. Oh yeah, check out oxygen. It's like almost completely filled the map. Except for the bottom half. I am kind of destroying it down here. I've got like a little loop here. And actually I like this. This is kind of, I don't know, I had never seen anyone do this. I seeded it with some water, and what it does is the carbon skimmer uses the fresh water. And the polluted water comes out at 40 degrees through a radiant pipe, which cools down the area, or heats it up depending on what temperature it is. But it absorbs heat if it's in a hot area. Goes into the sieve at like, let's see what this water is at, 50. The heat gets destroyed, the water comes back out at 40, and then it gets destroyed again when it goes in here. So it's like a infinite cooling loop that only requires, what am I feeding it? Regolith. Or sand. And power. But it works pretty well. This area right here is actually quite cool compared to everything else. So if you ever want to destroy a bunch of CO2 and cool the oil biome, this is a interesting way to do it. I should probably put another one down here. Water level's going up, I see. How about our polluted water? Is it expired? Oh my gosh, I've got so much. Okay, there's some automation here as well. I don't want to drain this tank, or otherwise the aqua tuner will overheat. So I have a little automation here. It has to be above 100 kilograms of water. 1 or 2 tiles up here for this to work. But this geyser is going to kick back on 13 cycles, and this will start to fill up again. Actually, it'll fill these tanks first. These will back up, and then this tank might fill up. I need to deal with this CO2 here at some point. It's kind of stuck, it can't go anywhere. I tried to put it in a gas canister collector right here. But it takes them forever to empty those, so what I might do is just suck it out of here and stick it in my main CO2 vent. Right here. I could input it into this pipe here. I need to cross over though, so let's actually do that. Do some pipes here. Remove these. Nothing's coming through them right now anyway. I don't even know if they're connected. They're not connected to anything. But we'll do it properly. And let's get this pipe over here. Should it be insulated? What temperature do we have here? This is actually kind of cool here. And probably will remain cool. So I'll just use regular granite. Come down here. That's kind of ugly. Let's go down through the wall. We'll cross over there. And we'll do a bridge output to output right here. And that should get rid of it. There they go, they're very busy. They're all like master builders now, so it goes pretty fast. I do have a gas element sensor here, so this only works if it's CO2. So that'll clear all that out of there. Let's see how it behaves here though. It should just merge. It's exit to exit. It might get clogged up a little bit, but let's just see. Yeah, this is going to back up. That's okay though, because this CO2 will eventually get all sucked out of here. There's quite a bit of it though. Quite a bit. And then I have to deal with this chlorine. I might just vent that into space as well. Don't really need it. Okay, continuing on. They're exciting. Exciting block. The quality of life upgrade Mark II comes out in 3 days, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope they fix some lag issues, because that's kind of the main issue with the game right now. Let's let this chlorine out. I basically have to stop what I'm doing. If I press any keys during the autosave, the close program dialog comes up. So I just kind of back away. Build it, Florian. You can do it. I do a giant sweep order when I let the game run overnight, and then they can just get all this garbage. We could do it now. A low priority. There's nowhere for the water to go, though, I don't think. Oh, that reminds me. I have a little bit of a water trough in the base now. I had one before, but I put it back. Here it is. So it just squirts water into here. This is the 26-degree water. So this isn't overheating the base. The reason I removed the other one was because it was super hot. But there's 2,000 kilograms of water available. And they'll use it up for whatever they need. And then they'll... then it'll just squirt somewhere in. Calories are finally coming down. That's good. So like I said, I could probably run this all night again tonight. And things should be fine. Actually, I'll do the sweep order later. The only thing I could see going wrong, well, there's lots of things that could go wrong, but is that this cooling loop gets too backed up. Right now it's not. This cool polluted water that comes in at -10 cools the oxygen. If this loop stalls for too long, the oxygen going to the base will get too hot, and the dupes could cook. So we may cook the dupes overnight. That CO2's coming out, that's good. What are you doing, Catalina? Oh, there's 2 dupes there. The tube is the best invention. I should probably build a pump and suck this water out. Stash it in here. In fact, I should get rid of this ice. I opened all this up in here. It's slowly cooling. I should just dig this out. Dig this out, dig this out. I'll just watch them for a bit, see what happens. See what they're working on. Drank espresso. grooming, some showering, some digging. Some sopping wet feet. Okay, let's continue here. Don't want to use sandstone anymore though. Oh, we're out of it. Oh, I gotta dig this out. I won't be able to get through. Can't dig that. And I'll have to deal with this polluted water. I could build a pump and pump it into space. Oh, there's a fish in here. This might be the last fish. Overcrowded. Really? How is that possible? Maybe I should be able to walk down here, so let's get that fish over into here. Give him a little bit more room. It's getting pretty hot here with all this regolith. 117 degrees. What if we can melt the nullifier? Overheat 125. Yeah, it's getting pretty hot here. It's cooling though. 240, 291. Oh. It'll eventually cool. This poor little fish. He's been living in this tiny little space this whole time. Also give him some algae to eat. He's probably starving. Everyone's busy. Here they come. Should probably extend the tube through here so they can get here a little bit faster. Could branch up here. But this is all kind of going up, so it's not really going to help much. I could make this tile gold. Regular tile is 25% run speed. Gold is... metal is 50. I think I'll just leave it though. I think I might wrap things up here though. Once my rockets are done their final missions, I'm going to seal this up with bunker tile because we don't want any more regolith for a long time. I might poke a hole. Oh, this opens and closes. I don't need this anymore either. So I'll remove the automation, probably close that. I'll leave one little tiny gap for the regolith to come through. Maybe, at some point. Actually, this is probably fulfilling its duty here. Because we need regolith. We need regolith for filtration medium. But we have way too much of it right now. 2,000 tons. copy these settings. We'll fill this back up. Gonna fill this one too. Oops. Really low priority. If they have nothing to do, they'll fill these up. But I'm gonna wrap this episode up. The next episode will probably be the quality of life upgrade Mark II. Kind of like a preview, see what everything's new in it. And then if I can run this base during the preview, I will, but sometimes when they put all the debugging stuff on, everything runs way too slow. So we'll see. You can also turn that off with a config file setting. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.